that this is a perfect solution for them. Okay, number 19, breathe easier. Talk about mothers on a mission. In 4 states, Moms Clean Air Force is fighting for 100% clean energy by 2050. Support them by going online to sign the group's petitions. Learn how to contact state officials or join one of multiple grassroots programs. Community RX, an environmental justice campaign, works with African American churches and neighborhood groups to fight air pollution in underserved areas. Eco Madres, mothers, tackles environmental health issues affecting Latino communities. Now, 68% of Latinos in the U.S. live in a location that doesn't meet federal air quality standards. How do we let these things happen? This just shouldn't be happening for anybody living in the States. Ridiculous. Anyway, moms and mayors connect parents with city officials and encourage mothers to run for office in order to create innovative, effective climate and clean air solutions. And the organization Baby Power educates new parents about the importance of safe air and how to advocate for it. Pretty cool. That's a heavy-duty one, a long-term solution, but we can start with immediate actions by making different choices today. Okay, here's another one. Play computer games and help end hunger. If you're not killing time doing brain games on your phone, you're busy feeding the hungry. The Free Rice app, Freerice, freerice.com, the website, quizzes you in art, vocabulary, geography, and more. Each time you answer correctly, an ad appears, and its sponsor donates to the United Nations World Food Program, which provides food and support services to communities all over the globe. Pretty cool. Interesting. All right. Here's another one. Lend your brain to science. Uncle Sam needs you. Remember the posters? Uncle Sam needs you to help out with his science projects. The U.S. government is outsourcing data collection to everyday Americans all over the country in an effort to improve our landscape. To pitch in, browse the catalog of projects at citizenscience.gov. Who knew, right? Citizenscience.gov. The required skill level ranges from easy breezy, such as using your phone to upload photos of ladybugs to the Lost Ladybug Project, which helps scientists solve the mystery of why the native 9-spotted variety is disappearing, to AP, that's Advanced Placement Biology level hands-on data gathering, such as the Project Monarch Health, which will mail you a kit and instructions for catching the monarch butterflies and caterpillars and testing them for harmful parasites. You can participate while you're on vacation, tracking blooms in Joshua Tree National Park for its iNaturalist Wildflower Watch program, or give an assist from the comfort of your own laptop by reviewing and classifying images of kelp photographed from space for floating forests, because computers can't see kelp the way the human eye can. Or maybe you can use Google Street View to scan neighborhoods in Seattle, Washington, D.C., Columbus, Ohio, Oregon, Newburgh, Oregon, and Mexico City to evaluate them for wheelchair accessibility for Project Sidewalk, which identifies problems that need fixing. All kinds of things going on here that you can invest your time, little or a lot, your energy, little or a lot, your skills, high level or very simple things over time to make a difference and make an impact. And as I mentioned, I am pulling most of this, except for my little stories, from the Oprah Magazine March issue this year. Now, here's another one. Oh boy, math. Do the math. It's census time. Now, historically, white homeowners are overrepresented and everyone else is undercounted, and government resources end up being allocated unevenly. The risk is now greater for rural communities without Wi-Fi since the process has gone digital. So Fair Count, FAIRCOUNT, aims to make sure this year's census is just that, a fair count. So sign its Commit to Count form online to become a count captain in your area. Or if you're in Georgia where Fair Count is based, staff phone banks at one of 150 events through July 31st when the census will be complete. Okay, here's another one. People all over America are parking in Siberia At the grocery store, what does that mean? They're elbowing past fellow commuters on the escalator and printing from the machine farthest from their cubicle, all in an effort to log 10,000 steps each day. Oh, that. Okay. If you're one of the nation's 10,000 step maniacs, why not monetize your movement with Charity Miles? The app logs your actions and reports them to corporate sponsors that donate to the charity of your choice from among 45 options. The amount per mile varies per company or charity. You can also join teams to work out together and have friends and family sponsor you. This way, you're not just counting every football, but making sure each one counts. So that's another unique way to do something you might be doing anyway, and just find a way to create a ripple effect with this. Okay, so here's another one. Install a filter. You love how your leggings look and feel, not so much how they leach microfibers into the water supply. Now, this organization called the Girlfriend Collective, which makes sportswear out of recycled water bottles, sells a filter to catch the tiny plastics pieces that are released when synthetic fibers are washed. Oh my. Attach it to your machine, empty after every 3 loads, and throw the fibers in the trash. They can't be recycled. But the filter stops them from polluting the oceans. Well, that's interesting. I guess it depends on where you put your garbage and so on. Okay, here's another. According to a 2019 study from Indiana University Women's Philanthropy Institute, just 1.6% of all charitable giving in the U.S. in 2016 went to organizations dedicated to women and girls. To increase that number or donate your time, look to the Women and Girls Index, the Institute's public database of philanthropies across the country devoted to serving females of all ages. Here's another one. Invest in Girls, for example, pairs mentors who work in the financial industry with high schoolers to teach them about managing money. Here's another. Play Like a Girl runs after-school programs and camps that give 9 to 13-year-old girls a chance to play sports. Because 94% of females in the C-suite, that's the CEO guys, did so as kids. Wow, that's a pretty huge statistic. And at one of more than 1,500 Girls Inc. locations in the US and Canada, you can help 6 to 18-year-olds with schoolwork, college readiness workshops, and career roundtables after school and during summer. There are some 45,000 more options to browse because volunteering with girls today means nurturing strong women for tomorrow. So I'm going to finish off with one or two here. One of them is to engage in a little monkey business. Now, there's a motivation to smile at a stranger. We're hardwired to pay kindness forward, says Laurie Santos, a PhD and psychology professor at Yale and host of the Happiness Lab podcast. Oh boy, podcast for everything. Santos and her team performed the same study on capuchin monkeys and 4-year-old kids and found that when both were handed a tasty treat or an unappealing food item, they then asked to choose what to give the next subject. They usually handed over what they had received. We all have a tendency to give as good as we get. All the more reason to make it something positive. And I think what I'm going to do is finish with this one. It's put down roots. Now, you can take this on a lot of levels, but this particular idea is about planting trees that shade your house, which can cut your energy costs up to 35% by blocking heat in summer and wind in winter. Planting them anywhere reduces carbon emissions, provides a home for birds, and offers climbing, reading under, and swing hanging possibilities for future generations. So go ahead, visit the Arbor Day Foundation for instructions on background tree growing and become a member to participate in its Time for Trees initiative, whose mission is to fight climate change by seeding 100 million saplings by 2020. Once you join, which costs $15 a year, the foundation sends 6 to 12-inch bare root seedlings at the optimum time for placing where you'd like. So you need to watch the organization's YouTube video called Ask an Arborist, How Do I Plant Bare Root Trees, for tips on nurturing your future growth. So what if you don't have a yard? No problem. You can have those 10 trees planted in a national forest instead. So once again, this week, as in last week's show, I've shared with you almost 30 different ways you can make a difference and easy ways to impact your own life and others' lives immediately, and also with the ripple effect of moving into the future. So ultimately, that's what we want to do here on the show, Living Legacy Leadership. Legacy is all about living your own life in terms that suit you based on what you're here for, while also making contributions as you journey along your life path. You don't have to wait till your deathbed and throw the last crumbs of whatever you have left over your shoulder. You can do something now, do something today, do something you love and love to do, and do it with others if it's more fun for you. So I'm going to thank you for joining me here on Living Legacy Leadership. Thanks to my engineer and producer, Joe, who's amazing himself. And take a look at GameChangerThinking.com. Consider doing some coaching with me through Living Legacy Strategy Coaching. And I'll talk to you next week. Thank you very much. And do remember, the life you live is the legacy you leave. Bye-bye now.